Welcome back, gamers. Lazygamer here, and this is another short tutorial because someone is having trouble with making breaking glass work correctly. I am going to go through this step by step, number by number, and if they can't fix it by following this, then there is something wrong with their system somewhere. So, start a new map, in my case, just to go through it. Make sure that you're working in GZDoom Doom 2 UDMF format to get scripting functionality and so on. To break glass, we would like to use some textures that actually have that. You will note that these I have automatically chosen to have the Smash HUD MF PK3, which we are using for textures for the breaking glass script. But if you don't have it, go to add resource, go to from PK3, PK7, and click here and find wherever you may have placed it. I'm not going to look for it here now because I have it already, but that's how you do that. I have it here. Press OK, and we have our new map. Or will have a new map shortly. There we go. As an example, I'm just going to create a new room. You can do that however you want. I press Ctrl-Shift-D to create a square. Doesn't need to be that big, so that's like so. That's actually fairly big, all things considered. I'm going to make some line for glass to so let's create a line. Control D. Make a line in the center here from this spot to this spot is a good line. Right click to set, and we could just for fun create this, go into sector mode, delete those sectors, go back to our view floor texture, and we have an open space with a line. Now that line is going to be our window. So there we go. We need to set up some parameters for it. Go into line def mode, pressing L on our keyboard, right click, and it appeared on a different monitor for some reason. There we go. Sorry about that. give it a front texture, front middle texture. Find your smash HUD here. Go into textures, get the front one or the whole one. Again, this is not strictly necessary because we will only be seeing it from one side before we break it, but for fancies, let's give it texture on both sides. So when we go inside, we will have textures. So it doesn't matter which side we start on. Go back into the line, go to properties. Block everything. We will need to add a script, which we haven't actually set yet, but I'm gonna prepare the line first. We don't need it to be repeatable. We are going to only shoot it once. We're going to have it on projectile impact. You can set it so that enemies can do so too. But there are no monsters here, so who cares? Alright. Now open our script window. Now if you have, let's not do that because the script window hides this. Now if this is your first script, you will need to add this to your script editor. If you have already started with scripts, you will only need to add this. Since this is my first script on this map, we will include it. Control copy. Then we go to our script editor and paste it in. Press compile or Control S. There are no errors, and that's all we need to do for this. You don't have to know how this works. I know sort of how it works, but you don't need to think about it again, except that there is a setting here called line ID. Which we need to set to some sort of tag, and then we will add one more thing. If we go to thing mode, add what's in line 1 map spot. I'm gonna give it a tag of 101 because for reasons that will be obvious in a minute. Now we can go back to our line def, get 80, which is script execute. Now there is no script here because the script is named, so we need to go to string and get breaking glass. Map number is not necessary. It is 1 if you're curious, but if we don't define anything here, it will be current map. And I will give line ID 100. I will also tag this as 100. I'm gonna make it translucent 25 so we can look through it. And that's it. We are done. Each line, each window needs to have a separate tag, and each of these will need to be the next number, because the script sets it up so that the map spot is the next number up from the tag number of the line. So 100, 101, the next line def, the last thing would be 102, and the next tag number for this would be 103, and so on. We are only going to stick with one here though. We are going to need a starting point. So let's find a player one start. I'm gonna turn him around. And then we are going to check our map. And this will break. Here we are inside our map. I'm going to shoot this and it's going to break. And that's how easy it is. That's how you do it. Don't touch anything, don't do anything, just add, make, that was the wrong button. Line def functions like so. The script will remove this so you can pass through. Of course, it let's go back in for a moment. You can't pass as it is now. We break the glass and we can pass through. Just so that no one will get confused. I think this thing should be slightly in front of the glass. I'm not sure if it works correctly if it's inside. Problem is that only works from the side you're on, so in that case you should have one on the other side as well, unless you know you're just going to be able to break it from one side, which is probably the case anyway. Doesn't matter. I'm just gonna do another test. We can do as many tests as we want, because in theory there should be should be more like this, maybe. Did I tag it correctly? 101. There it is. So I guess I'm just not in the right position. Anyway, breaking glass works. So once again, this has been your host, the Lazygamer, logging off. Bye guys.